have to use this subquery, because you can't use mean salary as a part of expression without a subquery. So, in this particular case select mean salary from employee will identify one value which is the minimum salary value. Then that you can compare with the employee table and see which employees matches with that value. So, if the minimum salary is 8,000, all employees having 8,000 will be part of this output. So, as the value 8,000 is a single value, we can combine here using the equal operator. Otherwise, we have to use the in, because the most of the cases like in the previous example you will get more than one value as your output, but when you are using aggregate function you can have only one value as the output. So, as a result equal is also sufficient. Using in or equal in this case both are correct, and so in this case we are displaying e name and salary as our output. Then the next example again uses a subquery, and it also introduces two more keywords, and again when using such functions you are forced to use the subquery feature, because exist also you can't use without the use of subqueries. So, if you first of all look at only the subquery, so what you have is you are executing select statement select star from title, that means there is a table called title, you are taking all the fields of that table satisfying some condition. So, the condition is pub id equals publisher dot pub id, that means the two publisher IDs we are matching. So, one is from the title table, the other is from the publisher table, and then we also have another condition called type equals business. So, the business type books we want to identify from which publisher, and we get those details. So, here we will have an output of titles belongs to the category called business, the book titles. Now, using exist what we are doing is, if such books are available then do something else. If it is not exist we do not do anything. So, in this particular case if this satisfied we want to display the name, display the publisher name whose book ID whose book type belongs to business. So, some publishers can have several business type books. So, in such case several records will match for that. So, we do not want the same name appearing many times in our output. So, to eliminate duplicates, as a result we are using the keyword called distinct. So, the distinct keyword is used to eliminate duplicates, to ensure that one publisher name will appear only once in our output, and the exist condition is used because we are not interested about the matching output values from the subquery, we are only want to know if it matches or not. So, if it matches from the title table, if there is a publisher ID belonging to business type books, then the corresponding name we take it from the publisher table and use it for output. So, that is how this query we have used the exist to see whether there are matching values or not, and if so do the other task of listing. So, the example illustrate the use of subqueries with the keyword exist. So, find all publishers who publish business books is the example we have looked at in this particular situation. So, the wide range of using SQL statements for a variety of purposes is what we have looked at here. So, through this we have basically only introduced certain syntax of using SQL data manipulation for retrieval purpose. So, all of these will retrieve some form of data, and actually you will have to look at actual use of these for various purposes, and then experience the way to express these statements on your own. So, this is basically introducing the syntax of the SQL select statement. So, likewise we will next look at the insert, update and the delete, which are also part of the data manipulation statements, and similarly we will look at about the use of those syntax as well. So, if you go into the insert command, as mentioned before, insert is to add new data to a table. So, you can add one at a time or set of data in one go. So, most of the time if you are filling a form, you will fill about data about one employee or one student or whatever you are entering at a time. So, most of the time you deal with one at a time, but sometimes you have already entered and kept it somewhere else, then you want to upload those data in one go. So, it is like a bulk insertion. So, such cases you may insert from another source to and put it to your destination table. So, both ways you can insert data, and whichever way you use, there are two different formats provided. The insert into is the keyword common for both. So, you have to tell insert into, then it will know you are going to insert new data. You have to say into which table. So, you have to say insert into employee or insert into student or department or whatever. Then when you are inserting, the employee table will have some column names. So, you have to say which column you are going to insert. So, when inserting, you have to specify the data and the corresponding columns. So, these should match, and when it is inserting, the database will automatically check for various constraints you have already defined. So, if the constraints are not validated, the constraints are not met, then it will reject your insert the requested data, because it will accept only it does not violate whatever the rules. So, you have to make sure that if you are putting some data, it should match to the rules you have defined earlier when creating your tables. So, insert into table values and within brackets the set of values. So, if you have two column names, then you have to have two values within brackets after values. Now, these values must be within quotes if it is a character string, without quotes if it is a number. So, you need to have an idea about the data type of these values. So, when retrieving, you can do blindly without knowing what data type and so forth. Only for averaging and things you need to know that it is a numeric value, but to insert you must have idea about the data type. So, insert, update, delete are more of a specialized user task, whereas the normal select is a common thing where the user just tell these are the data we want. So, modifying, inserting is not of the same level. Then if you are using data from another source, then we can get that data from another source using a traditional SQL select statement and combine that with our insert into statement. So, instead of using values, you say the SQL select statement, so that it will retrieve the data from that other source and put it to the destination table, which is defined using select insert into. So, in this particular case, in order to enter one row at a time, we will use insert into with values, and in this particular case we are entering 4 values E1, DIAS, 26 and PER, and these 4 values will match to the 4 column names given in the same order soon after employee. So, emp number is E1, emp name is Dias, age is 26, depth is PER, and you can see except for 26 all are within quotes, meaning those are character strings, whereas 26 is a numeric number where you just feed a number there. So, if you are entering 10 employee data, you have to say 10 times insert into and values. You can't say insert into employee values is wrong, because one insert statement must have insert into employee with the column names and followed by the values and the appropriate set of values in the same order. So, that is how you would specify the inserting statement with respect to a single insertion. If it is a multiple insertion process, then the first line will be the same, but the instead of values you have to use a query that will extract values in the same order. So, that you select data from employee number from the employee table using the same matching sequence. So, it will match employee number to employee number, employee name to name, employee name and so forth. So, that is how it will insert the data, and when inserting, if there are various constraints, it will do validations for these constraints, and if the constraints are and the data you are inserting do not match, the insertion will be rejected. For example, if there is a foreign key defining for the department code, and if you define a wrong department code as a input data, or if you do not put the character strings within quotes, it will be rejected as syntax checking process during the insertion stage. For example, if the department code is SAL and if you enter as SALE, it will not go into the table because of this mismatch. So, තව ස්ලයිඩ් චුට්ටක් තියෙනවා, ඒක තව එකක් දාමුනේ.